And now we're going to do some major whiplash. Going from horror to something completely different. Well, there is a bit of horror, probably. Okay. Where am I? Is this outer space? No, it absolutely can't be. I would never survive in the void. I scan my surroundings. What I see should be an impossibility. A luminescent nebula gazes back at me. It twinkles, dancing across the sky. It's beautiful, but I'm not here to stargaze. As I take in this scenario, I notice some key things. My feet are not on solid ground. I appear suspended, and for some reason I'm able to hear and breathe. Those are the two things you can't do in space. I count this as a blessing and focus on breathing. There were exercises I could use to calm myself down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before I can count any higher, though, I'm interrupted. At that moment, I realize I'm not here by myself. I feel a hand rest upon my shoulder and I shiver. I expect to feel fear, but a rush of calm overtakes me. Hello, and welcome to the Ark. This is the very special place you see. Only a select few are allowed to be here. This is home to those touched by fate, imbued with a power most would call fiction. Others have come, but now it's your turn. First and foremost, I require a name, something to enter in the annals of time. We must ensure that you aren't forgotten. We need a name. Wait, did you say your name was Exodus? Interesting. You know more than I thought. I didn't expect you to recall such things. My name, you ask? I'm afraid that's not important. No one will remember me after this. Your presence here portends a grand fate, not just for you, but the universe too. This is the purpose of those who came here. To that end, what else do they call you? Your surname is just as important, and out of curiosity I must know. Exodus' last name. Very well. The pleasure is mine. In giving me your name, the deed is done. Your service to me and the Ark is pledged. But do not worry, you're not a slave. Your service rewards you with a power, something that most would kill to achieve. Others must bend to the rules of the world. But for you, the opposite rings true. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. When you make a choice, reality will bend. Your every whim will fall to your lap. Yet the universe now accommodates you. This is the power granted to you by the Ark. This is the power granted to you by me. Oh, it appears that you're fading away. Do you long to return to Earth? I understand. There is fear in the unknown. I will find you again soon, and perhaps then we can talk a little more. Don't be scared, Exodus. I mean no harm. I feel a rush of speed as I'm shot back into my body. It was almost as if my spirit momentarily left me. Who was that man? And just what was the arc? I scratched my head in a state of sheer confusion. It definitely wasn't a dream. I know that for sure. When you wake up from a dream, you know it isn't real. You laugh it off, continue on with your life. That's not the sensation I was feeling right now. I tried to ground myself in reality. I'd taken my surroundings, the noises and people. I focused on my destination, Tokyo, Japan. I feel myself calm down, slowly but surely. The anxiety starts to replace itself with excitement, though many would argue what the difference is. Who didn't dream of going to Tokyo in their lifetime? It had to be on the bucket list of millions of people. And it was the first of many places I would visit on what would surely be the best year of my life. I sit there holding the armrest with a fierce grip. It wouldn't be long until I figured out how wrong I was. Chapter 1: The Calm Before the Storm. I tried my best to maintain my composure. A can of Popstar held firmly in my grasp. I wasn't one to drink energy drinks so leisurely, but I picked up what you might call an addiction. For a little bit more context, I'll say this. Popstar was the leading brand of energy drink. In fact, it was almost as popular as soda. It had full endorsement from a famous pop idol. A contest was held to coincide with this idol's new tour. Two special cans were then thrown into the wild. Those that found them got to travel with the tour, almost like a golden ticket from old childhood stories. The contest made the drink skyrocket in popularity and took the world by storm, a cultural phenomenon. The chance to live a life of luxury was hard to pass up. In case you didn't know, the name of the idol was Clace. So when I say I picked up something of an addiction, that might actually be the understatement of the year. The odds of winning were literally in the billions, so it took a fair amount of chugging in order to win. I asked myself if it was worth it, but that's subjective. At least that's what I told myself in between jitters. Being one of the lucky two came with its consequences. That's what the media called the prospective winners. Before I can continue thinking, I'm interrupted. Someone walking down the aisle has a nasty fall. They brace their descent and land on the seat beside me. That takes a special kind of skill, doesn't it? He quickly rises to his feet, wearing a look of panic. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Please forgive me. I nod my head. It's not the end of the world. Aside from a minor frighten, everything is fine. Although, maybe we could talk to pass the time. It was starting to get boring, sitting by myself. First time on a train. Don't know what came over me. I just got dizzy and then, bam! Sounds like someone has a case of vertigo. I apologize again. Sorry for intruding, I really am. I try explaining to him that everything is fine, but he seems to think he's committed an awful crime. Before he can respond, however, an alarm sounds loudly. The train comes to a screeching halt. Mechanical failure? That's not good. Oh no, what was that? Are we going to die? I can't help but stare at that. He's clearly one of those catastrophic thinkers. Good thing I brought a conch. Now I can be in power if we're stranded. He goes to rummage through his bag. A bit of a bookworm too, isn't he? I decide to just sit back and wait it out. In situations like this, there was nothing else to do. I try and think of how I could pass the time. It might be a while until we're mobile again. I can't use my phone for anything other than texts. The data charges while abroad were a death sentence, but everybody back home would already be asleep. There was quite there was quite the time difference at play there. My phone vibrates and I go to look at it, almost as if it knew I was thinking about it. It's Rook, the man I'm meeting at the train station. Are you almost here? I can't wait all day, you know. He's wondering where I am, and I'm not sure what to say. Should I play it cool, or let him know that we've stalled? Not much longer now. I tell him that won't be much longer. No point in having him worry over nothing at all. This will likely resolve itself momentarily. Good to hear. You know I don't like standing for long periods of time. He seems happy at my response. Much better than having him worry I might be late. Arguably for the best, as he seems very obsessive. Or I guess you do now. Remember it. And quite demanding too. But I guess he's a busy guy. Places to be and whatnot. I won't hold it against him. I see that the squirrel is also eagerly texting away. I put my phone back in my pocket and reclined in my seat. I wasn't exactly sure how Rook was related to Place, but he had to be pretty high up there. I was only given concrete details last week. I thought there would be limos and media coverage, but I was quickly told that this wasn't the case. I was getting picked up by a regular guy named Rook. I wonder if he would go full on cliche, with a large piece of cardboard that says Exodus. Oh man, I really hope we'll be okay. My train rides are usually incident free. Usually. But he said that this was his first time. He seems to contradict himself without realizing it. Well, as fun as awkward silences are, we should probably get to know each other, just in case we're stuck here forever. Oh, how fun that would be. You can call me Keela. I'm here to. Well, I'm here to see some friends. What about you? What brings you to Tokyo? It's nice to meet another English speaker. I only speak Japanese at a preschool level. I'm about to answer, but I stop myself short. I have flashbacks to when I signed that NDA. I wasn't allowed to publicly reveal why I was here, at least not until the media made it official. But then again, what harm could it do? It would likely never find itself back to me. Plus, Keela could be impressed with who I really am. A friend would be a great thing to have while abroad. Should I tell him or keep it secret for now? Sorry, I can't say why I'm here. I decide to stick to my morals and not break the NDA. It was probably for the best. Who wants a lawsuit? If I did let out my secret and word got back to Root, well, I'm sure there would be hell to pay. Oh, you can't say. That's cool, I guess. I'm here to visit my brother. Nothing to hide on my end, really. I thought he said he was here to meet friends. Now he's here to meet his brother. That seems odd. Nothing to hide. I feel bad that I can't tell him. He clearly realizes that I'm hiding something. I'm still really excited. It's my first time in Tokyo. Gotta hit up all the maid cafes. Of course, typical tourist. What about you? Would you ever go to a maid cafe? I've heard they're just the best. Maid cafes, those were much like restaurants in Western culture. However, your waitress actually stays at your table. You converse with them, play games, get to know them. It was definitely a foreign concept to me. How do I respond to Keela? They aren't really my thing. Oh, that's a shame. I've heard that they scare foreigners. Or at least they judge without trying. You shouldn't knock stuff before doing it. Who knows, you might end up liking it. Before I can continue talking, the train moves again, and the passengers are shaken up by the sudden movement. Keela beams a wide smile as if this was a major victory. Wow, I was scared for nothing. That didn't really last long at all. I hope he has fun wandering around those maid cafes. They may not be my thing, but he sure seems excited. Personally, I was more excited to meet Ryuk. I wonder what he would be like. More importantly, I wonder how he would treat me. He certainly seems like an interesting guy. For a moment, I'm glad I didn't break my NDA. I don't think I would have been able to face him if I did. I find it odd that I'm analyzing my previous actions. as if I could have changed what I said and what I did. Perhaps it was because of that weird vision I had. I can control my own destiny, or something like that. What a ridiculous thing to comprehend. If I could control my destiny, I wouldn't be here. I would probably be off somewhere living a life of luxury. But there's no use thinking like that, so I stop. At that moment, a pain attacks my chest, more pain than I've ever felt before. It pulses with my increasingly fast heartbeat. I go to clutch my gut instinctively, only to find out that I can't move. Everyone around me seems to have frozen in place. I start to panic. I go to focus on my breathing like before, but I can't breathe either. I sense someone behind me, and then I feel it, that hand on my shoulder again. The pain fades away and I gasp loudly for air. Is there something about his touch? Terribly sorry for earlier. Our meeting seems to have been cut short. Perhaps you desire to return to Earth. After all, the universe bends to you now. Am I that frightening? Either way, I sense conflict within you. You think what happened earlier was a dream. Yet now, your dream stands before you. I am real. The Ark is real. And the power that you have, well, yes, it's real too. I am not here to lecture you anymore. Your words and actions are your own, as is the power that I have given you. However, you will be asked to help me. You are not receiving this power for free, but I will let you run free for today. When I see you again tonight, I will tell you everything, and then your journey will begin. I was immediately shot back to my own reality, or at least the reality I was comfortable with. But now I know one thing for sure. That really happened. The Ark wasn't just a dream. He actually gave me some sort of power. I have no idea what to think right now. The confusion inside of me intensifies. It's like millions of voices are fighting in my head, trying to make sense of everything that happened. Hey, are you coming? Keela stands before me, his luggage in tow. I nod as I'm also standing up. It appears that my body has moved on its own, almost like something momentarily took over. Did I say something wrong? I need to watch my mouth. I tell him that he did nothing wrong. I let him know I was lost in my own train of thought. He seems to giggle as if this was a pun. I decide to take the credit for it, perhaps in an attempt to ease my inner turmoil. At least he waited for me, or I would be clueless right now. That's the last thing I would want to be. Alone and confused in Tokyo. Bad combination. I apologize for the delay as we exit the train. Fright looms over me for the rest of the day. Whatever happened tonight would change everything. Earlier that day, in the courtrooms of Terra, a planet far from Earth, yet closer than was known to any. Ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, I will present to you Lord Clare, your current leader in the race for mayor, and with that, your future king. I've been his humble servant for years, and through that I am certain of one thing. He will bring Terra to an age of prosperity. Come now, Riley, you embarrass me. I'd rather speak for myself. I'm flattered, but they need to hear me. I shall speak of this prosperity on my own. This is something every Turan must hear. Under our current king, we are doomed. Forgive me, Lord Clare. I did not mean to embarrass you, not in front of all these people. Coral, Wiley, have a seat. I'll call you as needed. Yes, my lord. Allow me to ask you all a question. You do not need to answer vocally. Just ponder on it as food for thought. If I may paint an image of you in your minds. You have a starving family. Your only desire is to feed them. You work harder than you ever have before, but you only have enough food to feed half. The rest of your family will simply starve. Though before you can eat, there's a knock, a violent rapping on the door of your home. You learn that it's someone new to Terra. They fled the destruction of their home. All they want is a new life on our soil. They beg for your food, almost dying, but if you feed them, your family starves. In this case, charity is a curse. They live, and your family may die. So what would you do? Would you help a stranger? Even if it goes on to hurt your family? I believe I know what your answer is. Why would I let my family die? Why would I give a stranger my food? I do not blame you if this is your answer. You worked so hard for the sustenance. Why are you expected to just give it all away? Why is Terra expected to give it away? This is the portrait painted of our world, a place to be taken advantage of, used. We can barely sustain ourselves, yet we need to care for these immigrants. Your current king is making fatal mistakes. He gives everything away, freely, and he calls himself the Immortal King. If he truly lived for 7 million millennia, well, you think he would have common sense. Something Tyrrell has been lacking as of late. Every immigrant we accept, there another stroke on our canvas, one that paints us as lax and lazy. The more we accept into our world, the more we condemn ourselves to accept. This is the power of that word of mouth. At this rate, we will all die. Regardless of our origin, we will starve. I wanted a strict immigration law, but even this would not help us. You don't allow a disease to run rampant. We need to cure this blight permanently. A Belford player will give us severance, a disconnect from all the other worlds. No longer will they be able to use us. If elected, I will devote my life to this. I will ensure Terra's independence and our base right to live fulfilling lives. Only then will we be free from immigration. Only then will our resources be our own. That is all. Will there be any questions? I have a question for you, Lord Player, if you're accepting, of course. Please speak, my child. My name's Kaelin. Please refrain from calling me child. I'm not one of your blind followers. The real problem lies with your greed. You're a noble. You have so much food. Why do you hoard and say we've run short? What? If people like you learned to share, well, we would all be leading happy lives. You're a single man, yet I've seen some inside reports. You hoard enough food to feed dozens. Inside reports. Wouldn't it be more fitting to share? The supply is there, Lord Player. Your campaign is based on a lie. And why do you have so much food? You don't look that round to me. This is why Lord Velasquez wants a tithe, not on everybody, just the rich. So I don't think you care about our food, or any resources for that matter. You only care about removing foreigners. So my question is, what is the true reason you seek severance? What gives you the right to say this? You're speaking to your future king. Future king? Don't make me laugh. You're avoiding the question. Where is your proof? Accusations require evidence, Kaelin. something I'm sure you don't have. I laugh at the notion that I am hoarding, especially enough to feed dozens of people. I know the importance of giving. I would never keep that while others starve. Really? You fooled me. That story you just told everyone, it was about not sharing and giving. I asked you why you seek severance, and you go and get this defensive. Your hatred speaks volumes. Lord Claire. There's no need to discriminate here. Everyone deserves food and shelter, not just those native to Terra. I seek severance to be independent. I only want to share amongst our own. I don't want a reputation of charity. I want Terra to thrive on its own. If we keep giving things away, we only give off a bad image of ourselves. Well, even if you did achieve severance, we would still be full of immigrants. Not only that, but they're descendants too. How does this make you feel? Simple. We would establish a new Terra. Once we are severed, we would all be natives. We would unite as one self-sustaining world. Funny you should bring that up now, rebranding our entire world. You think that would be part of your campaign? Typical politician, making things up, turning all the negatives into positives. I'll give you credit, but I'm not fooled. I ask again for proof, child. Fine. Your servant Kabu has all of it. He provided a peculiar shipping manifest. It should be all that we need to prove this. What? And the evidence substantiates his claims. Claims of hearing in my grant hate speech. A nightly pastime of yours, it seems. I'll let him handle it from here. I can confirm all that Caitlin said. Kabu, you traitor, what have I done to deserve this? At first I thought Claire was my friend. I know I'm not from Terra, but he made me feel wanted, like a son. But he started to hate my plant so much. I realized more that I was only being used. He just wanted a cheap servant, and now recently he's been hoarding food, creating nothing but an artificial shortage, one he can conveniently blame on immigrants, and one that he can use as a covert. He conveniently hides his hatred while supporting his campaign for mayor. The problem isn't those coming to Tehran, it's the greed of those that live on it. And our immortal king speaks the truth. A tithe on the upper class. Yes, then everyone would be fed. Go for Velasquez's continued reign. You know you speak lies. Why are you doing this, Kabu? Please look at this shipping manifest. I will place it here for all to see, that that you may know Claire's true nature. Remember, he owns lots of land on Tehran. This is but one of many instances. I'm positive he hoards at his other homes. Forged. The evidence is forged. Do not trust such infantile accusations, most likely created by Velasquez. Riley, have a word with the people. Ensure they realize Kabu's deceit. And guards, please detain these two men. We notice that there aren't many people standing around. The initial rush must have already subsided. At least Keela waited for me. How long was I out? Well, I guess this is it. I kind of pictured a grander entrance, but there's really nobody here. Oh well, I should have expected less. That way you don't get disappointed. It's better than getting your hopes up. That was sure an odd way of looking at things. Of course, nothing about Kilo was normal. Hey, pull out your phone. We should exchange numbers just in case. I know you don't really like maid cafes, but I can tell you so much about Tokyo. I read about this place online for weeks. There's lots of stuff to do here. I'm sure we can come to some middle ground. He pulls out his phone and he reads my information. I pull the phone out of my pocket and do the same. After a few moments pass, we exchange our digits. You got Kiva's contact information. Thanks. It was nice to meet you. I'm always glad to make a new friend. He starts to scurry away. I hope he's a texter. I hate getting phone calls. It seems so weird. Our generation is definitely hooked on text messages. I wonder where I'm supposed to go. Rook never gave me detailed information. I expected he would be right there when I got off, but I don't see anyone at all, actually. I quickly turn a corner and bump into a helpless woman. Hey, watch where you're going, will you? I step back and immediately apologize. I tell her I was just looking for my friend Rook. I explain the fact that I'm a foreigner and foreigner. Oh, so am I. But I'm no concierge. You should probably tell your friend to meet you in the atrium. She points to a large open area. I guess that's a good enough landmark. I thank her and start to follow her direction. But before I can get too far, a hand grips my shoulder. Oh no, could it be that man again? Please just give me some peace and quiet today. Hey, are you so lonely that you've taken up talking to yourself? That's weird. I'm extremely relieved. For a moment I thought it might have been that man again. But no, this must be Rook. What does he mean by talking to myself? Whatever, I'm glad you're here. The PA speakers mentioned possible delays, and that's not something I can tolerate. We're on a strict schedule. STRICT. He starts typing away on his tablet. Strict. Adjective. Acting in close conformity to requirements or principles. Ever heard of that word before? Wow, and I thought Kiva was a character. Although I guess I'd be a little upset if he was boring. No one likes a stick in the mud. So where's the other one? I was confused. I wasn't quite sure what he meant. I asked him for clarification. The other contest winner, I mean, we were supposed to be together. Wait, what? Insufferable. I hate being lied to. Drop the act. Seriously, where is he? I tell him I have no idea what he's talking about. I didn't meet anybody on the train except for Keela. Wait, could that mean? No way. Out of the shadows someone shuffles to us. Hey, you two. You're watching us? That's exceedingly creepy. What a group. We have ourselves a stalker. And someone who talks to themselves too. I really don't get what he means. I was clearly getting the directions from that woman. I wasn't watching you. I was just shy. And hold on a second. You're the other contest winner? He really emphasizes the word your. I'm unsure if I should take offense to this or not. Although now I'm glad I didn't break the NDA. Rook would have found out for sure. I guess I should have expected it. Both on the same train, both English speakers. It adds up. Well, either way, I have to say I'm really glad it's you. I feel like we got along on the train, even if it was only for a few minutes. I know you don't like maid cafes, but we'll be spending lots of time together. I'm sure we can figure something out. So, you're not one for maid cafes. That's good, they're a total waste. judging much. Didn't they teach you not to do that? You know, like back in grade school. Gosh, you're so crass. Root types away on his tablet. What is he looking up the definition of that word? I am definitely not crass. I apologize if I came off that way. Regardless, you two couldn't agree on where to go, so if you'll let me, I'll handle this. Allow me to invoke the rule of Rook. It always cuts through indecision. It sounds terrifying though. The rule of Rook. Are you pulling our legs? Hear me out. You can't decide on where to go, and you talked off you're new around here. I, however, have a vast knowledge of Tokyo. I can figure out the perfect place to go. Besides, there's been a bit of a delay. We won't be meeting place for a day or two. I'm tasked with helping you waste time. I guess that makes sense. What do you think? I nod. I do think the rule needs a new name, though. Well, where are you going to take us? That will have to come as a surprise. But it will be an electric town. Electric town? You don't mean Akihabara? Yes, I do. Y'all spend lots of time there. It's a place to be for tourists. That a place loves the atmosphere. A lot of his outings are to Akihabara. Wow. You'll get along great then. But what about this delay you mentioned? Is everything okay? It sounds bad. Oh, it's fine. Place got into a fight and his tour manager disagreed. A lot. But Singe always manages to quell him. Oh, I hope it's nothing too serious. It'll be fine. Place is a hothead. He'll be fine after venting and relaxing. We've all come to expect it, at least. Anyway, we should probably get going. We won't get anywhere standing here all day. It's high time we ditch this station. After a few moments of walking, we exit the station. I feel a soft breeze and take a sharp inhalation. It's nice to feel some fresh air after all that time. The plane and train ride here were definitely stuffy. Interesting. The air here feels different. Not in a bad way, I mean. Just different. Though it's probably expected in a foreign country. The air almost smells cleaner than it does back home. Whoa, what's with that smell? Not what you're used to. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. Just enjoy the fresh air. You deserve it. They did rush you onto that train, right? No time to relax after that long flight. But you're good now. Relax and enjoy it. Yeah, I guess you're right. Hey, wait. Does that mean we were on the same plane? That's so cool. What are the odds? Actually, it's incredibly probable. We both won the same contest after all. They likely expensed and bought stuff in sets. I don't say this though. Don't want to downplay Kiva. Pretty solid actually. We both won the same contest after all. Enter Rook, the social assassin, blurting out the things we don't dare to. I didn't think of it that way, I guess. He looks defeated. See, that's why I refrained. Well, we shouldn't stand around. We didn't leave just to waste time out here. I've got a little bit of a surprise for you. Remember how we said things would be quiet? Well, Place went and pulled some strings. The kind of strings that get you a limo. We have a limo, like just for us. That was a pleasant surprise, actually. Luke gives us a soft smile as he says the word limo. I can tell he's been waiting to let out that secret. Yeah, something like that. We'll use it to move you around town, at least until we leave Tokyo behind. But even then, we'll just rent a new one. This tour is going all sorts of places. You'll get to travel the world in style. Mood completely reversed. Thanks, Rook. Should we get going then? Where is it? Well, it's right here. Rook points to a limo parked just a few feet away. I never expected we would get to drive in that, especially after they mentioned the low-key aspect. Well played. Definitely off to a good start now. He knocks on the window, calling to someone inside. After a few moments pass, a new face enters the scene. So, you two are it. Yeah, I guess. Two winners, remember? We're not here to visit a chocolatier. Not what I meant. Just expected something else. What does she mean by that? Well, you can call me Jade. It's a pleasure to meet the both of you. The contest just had a year of hype. I built up this weird image in my mind. Expected the winners to be larger than life. I apologize if I offended you in any way. Surely you can understand what I meant. We often have these sorts of preconceptions. I suppose I know what you mean. No offense taken either. It's nice to meet you too. But speaking of preconceptions, can you tell us a little bit about Clace? I feel like the image in my mind is wrong. You've met him, right? You must have all kinds of inside knowledge. I see him all the time. But yeah, many people get him wrong. Here's a few words I would use to describe him. Self-absorbed, egotistical, holier than thou, arrogant, disrespectful. He's the worst. Excuse me? It was a joke, Keela. I'm still learning this humor thing, but I guess I have a few more steps to go. That was her definition of a joke. She doesn't need steps, she needs leaps and bounds. This is almost certainly how rumors are started. Someone won't know she's joking and it'll spread. Rook tries to teach me in our off time, but I guess I've far from mastered it. That explains it. Rook taught her. He's the last person in the world I would say is funny. Well, I would appreciate an honest answer. Of course, he can be shy and silent, but he can also be loud and outgoing. He can be polite and formal, or he can be crude and lax. He's just like any one of us. When you're up on the stage, or even when you're doing an interview, you're just putting on an act for the world. I think you'll get along with him just fine, but I don't think you know him yet either. The amount of people that do is very small. Alright, thanks for answering. Sounds like he's under a lot of pressure. It would suck to have an image to maintain. And about the humor thing, you're doing great. Keep learning. Keela can lie. Thanks, Keela. It's always fun to learn. Anyway, let's get ourselves in the limo. We'll get this adventure started. Sounds good. I can't wait. My hype level is off the charts. Outside the courthouse, moments later. So, do you think that'll ruin Claire? Only time will tell, Conrad. It was risky, but we succeeded. We now have our inside man. Kalen can operate from within Claire's home. So I have to ask, was the evidence real? It doesn't matter. It helped us. Means to an end, I believe they say. We have everything we need to take him out. I doubt Claire will go down without a fight. It won't be pleasant for Keelan or Kaboom. What do you think he'll do? And Demian? Be put into interrogation, I think. But this doesn't cause me much concern. Caitlin has been trained to resist torture. The major fact is that he's inside now. We just need to wait for his correspondence. After that, we can formulate a plan. I think he'll plant some evidence, something we can find next time we're there. An innocent visit, an incriminating find. So Caitlin can resist torture. He looks pretty frail to me. And Cabu, he'll probably face the brunt of this. It's a worthy sacrifice, isn't it? Cabu did this willingly. I guess I can see it now. Assassin's Guild oust corrupt politician. It's gotta help our reputation, right? We're the Assassin's Guild. We need to have no reputation. I guess just trying to make conversation. If people found out about us, they would quickly find that the king funds us, then he would be the one getting ousted. Fine. So what do we do now? The player situation will remain on standby. We must wait for instructions from Kaylin. Or until we have another off-worlder. Player has been more than happy to take them. With that said, the ritual is our goal. It helps us on both fronts, Conrad. The ritual. A game. You sound like you're stuck on a loop. Our track record of failure is demotivating. You know Velasquez feels about failure. But we get an off-worlder no matter what. If that happens, we bring them to player. We gain his trust through these failures. It's symbiotic, Conrad. It's cold, Endymion. Yes, it gives me chills. He walks away, done with the conversation. Geez, what a mentor he is. I'll never get anywhere worthwhile. Oh well, a man can dream. Endymion, wait for me. We're led into a massive limo. Actually, emphasis on the massive. I didn't think it would be this big on the inside. Jade promptly gets situated in the driver's seat. This leaves Rook, Keela, and myself in the back. Wow, this is amazing. It's so spacious, so luxurious. Sorry, you two. Guess I was in my own little world. It looked like he was staring at Jade. I find myself questioning the relationship of these two. She quickly turns and speaks to us through the divider. So, where to? Well, they couldn't think of a place. I say we just take them, you know where. Nothing but fun times to be had over there. Couldn't have said it better myself. I know, better than a maid cafe. Can you believe Keela wanted to go to one? No comment. Take it easy. Harmless jokes, Keela. Anyways, this is the really awkward part, where we're supposed to bond or whatever. He cringes as he says the word bond. Instead of acknowledging that, I not eye something else. I can hear some noise coming from the passenger seat. Was somebody up there with Jade? I ask Rook about this. You not iced. Inumi, do you want to say hey? He retreats just as quickly as he appeared. I haven't the faintest idea who that was. That was Clace's brother, Inumi. Clace's brother, but he looks nothing. It's Clace's brother, Inumi. Kilo was right, but Root cuts him off. Was he putting on some sort of act? If anything, it was for Inumi's benefit. I decide to play along, as does Keela. I see. Well, that's cool. Very cool indeed. I can't tell if he's sincere or not. Well, moving on. I should go over the basics with you too. Just stuff to know before I let you wander. Make sure you're paying attention, alright? Feel free to take notes if you need to. Keela and I lean forward and listen intently. Here's a book for the both of you to have. It lists common Japanese phrases inside. I would suggest learning a few common ones. Namely, I don't understand Japanese. I'm probably assuming here So I'm sorry, but I doubt you could hold a conversation. Oh, and if the citizens tell you Gaijin, well, that's a term of endearment. It's nice to know Rook can be civil and polite. For once he's actually helping us. I assumed his default mode was condescend everyone. He hands each of us a book. I put mine in my pocket. It's definitely travel size. I'm sure it would help. That was one of the things I was actually worried about. If someone tried to talk to me and I couldn't talk back. I almost forgot. There's one last thing you should know. It relates to your current events in Tokyo. It's mostly superstition, of course, but it's got everyone up in arms. So it's better that you hear it from me. What is it? The midnight deaths. The midnight what? Tokyo's been hit by suicide and murder. More and more cases with each passing day, but it gets a little weirder than that. All of the cases happen at midnight, like clockwork, right on the dot. Are you serious? Of course I'm serious. The deaths have been mysterious in nature. No culprit for the murders, no evidence. That's why it has everybody talking. The crime scenes don't add up at all. What happened is physically impossible. But to us, that's not really important. There's something far more noteworthy, and that's when these deaths first started. What do you mean? I know it's coincidence, but these deaths started a month ago, on the night of our arrival in Tokyo. What? Some people think the tour is an ill omen, that perhaps being here is the cause of it. What? That's not nice. Indeed, I hope that explains some things, especially why we kept your arrival quiet. We didn't need any more fanfare around us. Restrictions are even being put upon Clace, so don't feel singled out in all of this. Everyone is being affected equally here. So to that end, please stay quiet. Don't let anybody know why you're here, at least not for the next little while. But I know you're both trustworthy, so just continue as you have been. We aren't even doing a press release. At least not until Singe is ready. He handles these situations with expertise. He's kind of like my boss and teacher. And don't worry about your enjoyment. You'll still have fun. I guarantee it. There's just a few precautions to take. Later tonight, we'll get you to your hotel. Everything is still on par for the green, so just don't cause any commotions, okay? Yes, of course. Don't want to make things worse. Clace must be under enough stress as it is. Yeah, I can tell it's affecting him. It's good that you heard this from me. You know how rumors and grapevines can be. People are even saying he's the killer. They're connecting totally unrelated events. Our arrival has nothing to do with all this. But you know how it works, right? People always need something to blame, a figurehead for all of their problems. I suppose that's true, but they should focus on the real culprit. Clace is harmless. He couldn't do that. You're telling me, but it's still odd. Suicides are happening at midnight too. It's not just a killer. It's something else. And whatever it is, we have no idea. Some people are blaming the supernatural. But I never really believed in that stuff. The limo slowly comes to a stop, but this just leaves us all in an awkward silence. Well, I guess that means we're here. Thanks for making conversation with me, even if it was in the realm of the macabre. Yeah, we could have picked a better time. Was your goal to scare us away, Root? Because it almost worked, you know. No comment. Let's go. He leaves the limo without saying another word. For a while there, I was starting to feel free, but now I'm getting bogged down by terms and conditions. Though when I think about it, it's not too bad. I can play along if it's for the citizens' benefit. Wouldn't want to let it slip why we're really here. It would cause a panic in the middle of Akihabara. Well, here we are. Welcome to Akihabara. Just watch your heads as you exit. Wouldn't want to bang them on the way out. We both nod and do as instructed. Electric Town, here we come.